These are real-life criminals caught on camera. From ingenious escapes to poorly executed robberies, you're not gonna want to miss a thing. It's trash day as these two inmates were busy hatching a plan to escape. What ingenious plan do you think they've concocted? Will they hide in the giant bins?
Nope.
They do it old school and just run for their lives.
Bye, have a great time.
In one of the craziest prison breaks of all time, these two Canadian inmates attached a rope to a helicopter that was taking off and hung on for dear life. And while they did manage to complete their escape with their lives, they were recaptured just a few hours later. This teenager's been brought into an interrogation room, handcuffed and left alone for just a few minutes before discovering an unlocked window. You'd think being on the second floor would be an obstacle. Not for him.
You'll never take me alive, coppers!
When prisoners were being moved, this guy hung back, hoping the officer wouldn't notice him. It worked, and before long he was left alone in the garage next to a transport van with the keys still inside. Next up, it was time to smash his way to freedom.
And beyond!
In 1995 in Denmark, a bulldozer driven by an unknown person crashed through a fortified section of the Copenhagen prison wall, allowing 12 inmates to run to freedom. Sometimes you see a window of opportunity and you gotta take it. This inmate noticed a health worker leaving and made sure she caught the door just before it closed. After a quick struggle, the prisoner was to exit the prison via a staff door to the street outside.
Martinez Arrington then breaks free, bolting out of the door and into the south alleyway.
In this prisoner loading dock, police take their time unloading gear from their squad car, all while a suspect sits handcuffed in the front seat. Now, I'm not sure if the officers were distracted or simply forgot about their prisoner altogether, but he managed to escape the car in the nick of time before it locked the officers inside.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
This might just be Harry Houdini's granddaughter. In a jail in Waukesha, this suspect was handcuffed to a wall awaiting interrogation. I guess she started Googling how to escape handcuffs, because in less than a minute, she'd slipped out and simply walked away. After losing his court case and being sentenced, this guy decided he wasn't going to prison after all, ducking out of a holding cell and back into an unguarded courtroom. From here, it's just a matter of ditching the prison shirt and orange Crocs before literally walking out the front door.
Yeah, boy.
These three inmates were given a security key by a control room guard and simply unlocked the doors themselves. That same guard turned a blind eye as the three were captured on camera, casually strolling out of the prison grounds.
What?
In the corner of an outdoor rec area, two inmates unraveled a wire fence and scaled the wall. They then used blankets to cover the razor wire before dropping outside the prison walls and running into the forest. This guy's actually an escaped convict from a nearby prison, but with a bit of sweet talk, it seems like anything's possible.
You got a cell phone with you?
No, hell no. I don't even have a cell phone or anything.
Just call 911 is all you got to do, and they'll get a hold of us.
All right.
That's our quick line there.
Have a good day now.
Be careful, buddy.
Thank you.
All right.
This criminal was being escorted to the prisoner transport bus, but he had other plans. Ducking under the reach of the officer and sprinting at full pace, he managed to get a head start. He's even able to jump a fence while still being handcuffed before running off to temporary freedom. When this guy was sentenced to prison time after not paying child support, he did the only thing that came natural to him, and that's run. Then it was over a second-floor banister for a heavy landing before he skipped out of town. If only he put that much effort into his obligations.
Nice.
When a train blocked this fugitive's way, he did the only thing left to do and catch a ride.
All we had to do was follow the damn train, CJ.
When they say Google Street View catches everything, they really do mean it. And if you were wondering what crimes these people are serving time for, oh boy, are you in for a ride. This criminal mastermind's a little nervous. After fumbling his weapon, he awkwardly tries to mount the counter to get it back. Another fail, and this clumsy criminal decides to cut his losses. All this guy wanted to do was look at a $17,000 wedding ring in sunlight, but instead of returning inside, he simply walked away. It was so brazen that it took a moment for the shop assistant to realize what was even happening. This criminal reached through to grab the cash tray out of the register, but there's one small problem. It won't fit through the window. No matter which way you turn it, it's not gonna fit. These criminals were after a quick smash and grab until they realized that they weren't dealing with ordinary glass. Repeated strikes with a hammer only barely cracked the glass, and the thieves were left scratching their helmets. Of all the places to try and steal a bicycle, the local police department has to be the worst.
Target target neutralized.
Is this the world's clumsiest criminal? Not only does he forget to mask up before walking in view of the camera, but his getaway was anything but graceful. As soon as this porch pirate knew he was being filmed on CCTV, he decided to give a little dance performance before stealing someone else's packages. Luckily, he was identified by both his face and terrible dance moves. After successfully smashing his way into a gas station and wrapping a chain around the cash machine, he made one fatal mistake. He forgot to attach the chain to the winch on his truck. This guy was determined to get into a locked door without a key. He spent almost 3 hours trying to kick the door in, only to get absolutely nowhere. Wait till he figures out he just needs to pull the door instead. Of all the things to shoplift, this guy with the sunglasses thinks he can put a whole chainsaw down his pants and hide the rest in his shirt. It's safe to say he wasn't fooling anyone.
Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious.
Sick of being robbed, the owner of this store set up a trap to catch any would-be thieves. It didn't take long before the first criminal came knocking and found himself stuck for hours until police arrived to arrest him. This would-be thief thought he could just walk out of an art gallery with an expensive piece of art. He was only kinda right. He was later stopped by staff and the artwork returned. This thief was attempting to steal electrical cables from the side of a building before becoming stuck on top of an air conditioning unit. In this jewelry store, it's clear the owners had trouble with thieves before. This guy tries on a gold necklace before making a run for the door, which has already been locked. When the almost thief realizes he's trapped, he tries to play it off as a joke. You're not fooling anyone, buddy. When pulling ATMs out with trucks doesn't work, these criminals used a stolen excavator to dig the machine clean out of the store. They then picked up the ATM and loaded it into a van's oversized sunroof before making off. These thieves ram-raided the front entrance, tied a rope around the ATM, and tried pulling it from the wall. Not only did the thieves leave empty-handed, but they were arrested only a few hours later.
Denied.
There's nothing worse than a thief that uses their children as cover for their terrible behavior. This guy waits till the coast is clear before hiding a brand new laptop under his jacket and walking out like he didn't just steal a $1,000 computer. Another day, another ATM heist. This time, after ripping open a front panel, the pair got spooked before driving off empty-handed. You can tell times are tough when people are out there stealing lawn furniture. These two thieves were captured on camera stealing a bench. Yes, a bench from the porch of a family's house. This has to be the world's slowest ever car chase. If I didn't know any better, I'd think it was a grandma behind the wheel. Police policy prevents officers from pulling in front of cars they're chasing, so they resorted to this. After leading police on a high-speed car chase in a stolen BMW, this criminal finally ran out of room in peak hour traffic. But he wasn't done, pulling out a longboard and trying to skate away. Honestly, I think he'd be faster without it, but the chase came to an end when a concerned citizen decided to get involved. We all know the claw arcade machine is rigged, so can you really blame this kid who climbs up the prize return chute to claim a toy for himself? Now that's a skill tester. This might just be the greatest actor in the world. Unaware of CCTV cameras rolling, this guy fakes a slip and fall to try to make an insurance claim. He couldn't even make it look convincing.